This is the screencast for how to use a database to find a scholarly article. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log into Schooloop. And once I'm logged into Schooloop, I'm going to find our class. Don't worry about the fact that it says period 5 on my screen. It's for some reason kept the same labeling as last year's class. So when you see your page, you'll want to click on the class. And if you click on, I believe it's this tab right here, it says curriculum on your Schooloop, it should bring you to this page. You want to click on bring a text you like to class. If you click this little arrow, it'll turn downward, face downward, and you will find all the lessons and activities for this unit. If we click on scholarly article, pre-reading, finding a scholarly article, we've got the assignment right here. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see that here's the text from the handout that you've already looked at. So I'm not going to spend any time here really. What I want to do is show you how to use ProQuest first, and then the directory of open access journals, or the DOAJ.org. We'll go to ProQuest first, and we'll click on this link. Now we've got the username right here. It's 25-1487. You've probably used that before. If not, I recommend just copying and pasting from Schooloop, and then big chalk is the password. We're going to want to click on the My Products page, and it's going to give us this kind of table of contents like page with a bunch of links. Scroll down and we'll just use the ProQuest link where it says access all your ProQuest databases. Okay, so here's ProQuest. One thing we're going to want to do is click full text, because that's going to make sure we don't get any articles that only have abstracts. Abstracts are great, but we also want the full text to be there. Remember, the abstract is kind of the sort of summary of the article, and it's frustrating if you want to read an article and only the abstract is there. So you also might want to think about clicking peer reviewed. The thing about peer review, it's kind of the gold standard for research. With peer review, other experts in the field have read the research and said, yes, this is good research. So you might want to click that. It's not necessary for this assignment though, so I'm going to leave it unclicked. So I'm going to start by typing in some of my keywords. Here I've got Greek mythology, and it doesn't really give me what I'm looking for. So I'm going to try typing in Odyssey. And with Odyssey, I get a bunch of different results. A love Odyssey is probably not what I'm looking for, because it's probably not from Greek mythology. Same with a Space Odyssey. That's a movie. Certainly not the Honda Odyssey, although that may be a fine minivan. It's not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to try Homer's Odyssey. And when I type in Homer's Odyssey, one of the things that I notice, I'm not sure what Homer's ice cream is, but Homer's Achilles might be interesting, because Achilles is a really interesting character. So at least I think he's an interesting character. So let's see what comes up with Homer's Achilles. The war that killed Achilles, the true story of Homer's Iliad and the Trojan War. Okay, that sounds interesting. Let's try the citation. I'm sorry, the abstract. The epic that launched 1,000 term papers, the Iliad receives a variegated critique from Caroline Anderson. I'm sorry, Alexander. Wow. Okay. Well, this sounds a lot less interesting with the with the abstract, but I'm just gonna check out the full text and see what comes up. Oh, okay. I'm glad I clicked on this, because this actually isn't really gonna help me. This is just a book review. And you see, it's only one page, and it's not even a full page. It's just this little bit of a column here, this little bit of a column here, and this little bit of a column here. So I'm not gonna use this one. Okay, let's try History 101 with help from Brad Pitt. Citation. The sites feature on Troy, the summer film starring Pitt as Achilles. Okay, that's the Brad Pitt connection, because he was in that movie. So, and this is School Library Journal. And since I'm a teacher, obviously there might be some interests there for me. And Oh, but okay, again, we've got a really short article, and we're looking for something a little bit longer. So let's go back and try Homer's Odyssey one more time, because there was something else that I thought might be interesting. I'm interested in feminist theory, so I'm going to try women in Homer's Odyssey. I'm also really interested in Penelope as a character. So if I go down, I see right here, here's an article about Penelope. So I might be interested in that. And I'm going to try the citation. The character of Penelope in Homer's Odyssey is examined and is presented in several other texts. Doesn't really tell me a lot. I'm going to try the full text, and it's taking a moment to load. Okay, it all starts with Homer about 720 BC, looking back at the Trojan War 4 centuries earlier. Well, I'm going to just sort of skim through this. I'm going to look at the length, and I notice that it is 6 pages. That's not too bad. We were looking for about 3 to 5 would be ideal, but I don't mind reading an extra page. So if you find something that you really, really are interested in, by all means, go ahead and go beyond 5 pages if you want. I'm going to scroll through it again and see what images there might be. This doesn't really help me. Might just be a bad copy, but I'm also going to look at text features like the bolded text here. Then another Penelope emerges, someone vastly different from the classical perfection, the troubled lady, or the worn-out wife. It's kind of intriguing. She had been making all the decisions too long and gotten used to it. So this seems like it might be interesting. I might use this as the text that I choose. Certainly something to keep in mind. But I'm going to leave ProQuest now and show you the DOAJ and see if we can find anything in here. So I'm going to click that link, and I'm going to try my searches again, Homer's Odyssey. Now, when I click the DOAJ, notice that it comes up with some different languages. Now, if you're a good reader in Spanish, you might tackle one of these articles. There's certainly good scholarship that's done in all languages. It's probably not what I'm going to pick, because in a scholarly article, the Spanish is probably going to be really difficult and probably beyond my reading level in Spanish. But like I said, if you want to challenge yourself, then the same reading strategies will apply. But I'm going to look at this English one that comes up, and it's called Oceanography in Women, Early Challenges, which actually sounds rather interesting. So I'm going to click on that and see what comes up. Okay, if we scroll through to see how long it is, okay, it's 9 pages, but notice that the first page is actually just a citation page, and then the second page is, I'm sorry, I went too far. The second page is just the title with a picture, and then it's got a lot of graphics. Here it looks like it's got a quick mention of the Odyssey. It's got some more images here, post-World War II women oceanographers. Scripps is a place that I know in San Diego. It's at UCSD. So that might be a local connection for me that would help me make sense. A Jeanne d'Arc, or Joan of Arc of oceanography. That's interesting, because Joan of Arc was put to death for her beliefs. So I wonder if this female scientist, I'm guessing, also was persecuted. And then we've got this sort of figure here, which has, it looks like it's kind of a sidebar with additional information. So I may use this, even though it's not directly related to my topic. It is nevertheless a scholarly article, and it looks like it will be interesting. It looks like it might teach me something about famous scientists, and I'm going to consider using this one as well. So this is the end of the screencast for finding a scholarly article in databases. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.